Right, I believe that this is live again. So, we had ended the last session in a fairly disastrous place again. And behind the scenes, I've done a fair amount of admin stuff. And that is in terms of healing and that sort of thing. What I did to start with, I was interested to know from all of the kobolds which of them would actually die after the event. And while I was looking at the healing rules, I would say that the way that I read them last time was inaccurate again. And that was if a character is being tended to and they become conscious, which they have a 10% chance of doing every hour, they become disabled as though they were on 0 hit points. And I misread that, thinking that they became on 0 hit points. So that was an error there. What that means is that things are still incredibly difficult to... injuries are still very difficult to deal with. So just to summarize what I've done, the kobolds, I did go through and see who recovered and everything, and 4 of them actually managed to stabilize. But with the remaining 2 kobolds, the sorcerer and the other one, they didn't have any heal skill. So I mean, I only rolled the heal check once, so I don't know how many times you should be able to do the heal check to count as though you're tending to the person. But anyway, the others subsequently died in the following hours. In terms of the party, Valdis regained consciousness an hour after the combat, and Akihito after 10 hours, and Gotharum and Yerrick after 24 hours. I didn't know exactly how to sort of like go about role playing this sort of thing. Although I've been interested in looking at like exploring in the Underdark, where you don't have you don't have the possibility of just going back to town afterwards. So finding a way to do the after combat healing and everything that's not incredibly boring. I'm still interested in working out how best to do that. And the sort of like stress of hiding when you can only take partial actions, all that sort of thing. But of course, the characters are only gaining 1 hit point every day, and so it's going to take them forever to heal. I've just quickly summarized that they managed to escape and come back, I think, almost 9 or 10 days later. The kobolds will have cleared out, the remaining kobolds, the 2 or 3 of them that were left, 3 of them, I guess, taking any valuables that they had at all. So there's no lootable treasure. The characters were able to sell some of their items. What I did for that, because I'd already done appraise checks for the items that they'd found, that was like a moonstone, a golden brooch, and 3 moss agate gems. I did an appraise check for the NPC that they would be selling to, and then basically they sold them for the sort of the difference between their appraisal and the NPC's appraisal. So they got 314 gold pieces and 5 silver pieces for the gems, plus they'd picked up another 24 gold pieces of loot. So I distributed that around the party. The potion of invisibility that was found, that went to Fenton, I decided. And they spent almost 10 days resting before going back into the dungeon, which is where we find them now. So what we're gonna do is continue this. The downtime and the healing and all that sort of thing is something that I'm interested in checking out and improving if possible. But that's something that would be good to see sort of how to do with a party, with actual players, because it's all right for me spending ages rolling dice to see if everyone heals and everything, but it's incredibly dull if you've got a party sitting around. So I understand the way that 5th edition has the short rests and everything to speed things up. It's much better. So back to the story then. The PCs end up back at this large chamber. They may well go and explore the kobold den, but they will find nothing of interest because everything has been taken. So in the end, they're going to be delving down into this room here. And what I'll do, I'll get Gotharum just up to the point where he's able to see. And let's see, Eric was there because we're having Valdus just on the edge of the light. I'm very interested in doing a game set in the Underdark, as I said, where light is a big thing. I was looking at the 5th edition Out of the Abyss, I think it's called, and I can imagine that being very fun to play as a sort of like survival game. But that's something for the future and hopefully to be played with other people. That was actually the kobold encounter was encounter level 4, so it's not a surprise that it was difficult. But again, the tactics of both myself and I would say the kobolds as well were suboptimal, to say the least. Something that I will hope to work on. So as they go down this corridor, the tunnel winds for about 70 feet down into the mountain before opening into Area 6. As the PCs approach, they begin to feel uncomfortable heat emanating from the room ahead. Although initially mild when the party first begin feeling its effect, it reached sweltering intensity by the time the characters reach the entryway to room 6. When the heroes enter the room, read or paraphrase the following to them. Waves of heat wash through the cave, thickening the air and making breathing difficult. This small bowl-shaped cavern floor is littered with humanoid corpses. Rats skitter through the sea of bodies within the sunken floor, pausing occasionally to nibble at a choice morsel. A host of their brethren lie nearby on their backs, some of them still twitching with a few remnants of life. A tunnel's opening is visible to the eastern wall of this chamber, and in the distance the sound of rushing water can be heard. This chamber serves as the breeding pit for the burning plague. Jack has stored the bodies of the kobolds and miners who have died within these caves in this room, with the intent of using them as incubators for the disease. The rats that feast on the bodies continue to spread the plague throughout the mines, although it is not initially apparent to the PCs. Jack has also left a few creatures amongst the corpses to deal with any adventurers who might explore the area. Beyond that threat, the cave itself serves as a trap for those foolish enough to cross through it. Gotharum, I think, has heal, so he might be able to detect something here. Does he have heal? Heal. Heal plus 6. He rolls a 9 for a 15. He will probably have an impression that there's something bad going on here, seeing as they're intending to actually explore the dungeon in order to find the source of the plague. I would say that it's quite likely that he will be suspicious of this area being infectious and will likely warn everybody. Maybe they would try and cover their mouths or something like that. The presence of the plague here is so strong that merely remaining within the confines of the chamber provides the adventurers with the threat of contracting it. Every 3 rounds that a character remains within this area, he or she must succeed in a fortitude save or be infected. DC 13. If a character remaining for 3 rounds within the area is already in the incubation period of the plague, he or she must succeed on a fortitude save DC 13 or immediately begin suffering the ability loss effects of the plague. The area has no effect on those already fully infected by the plague. So, that was another thing. I did the checks for curing the plague outside of town as well, so everyone is free of the plague at the moment, but maybe they'll all get it again at this point. As the PCs cross the length of the room, the zombie guardians Jack left behind to intercept would-be heroes lift themselves from their places amongst the corpses and attack. They fight until successfully turned or destroyed. So, there are 4 zombie miners and 4 zombie kobolds. I think that the characters will probably try and quite swiftly cross this area. So they will come up to here and we'll roll initiative as they try and cross through. Just get rid of everyone quickly. Right. I'm planning for the next adventure, whatever that might be, to not use the combat grid and to give a go on using zones and that sort of thing, but I'll work on that later on. For initiative then, we've got a 13 for Akihito. We've got a 2 for Fenton. We've got an 8 for Gotharum. We've got an 11 for Yerrick. We've got a 23 for Rinya. And for Valdis, we have 26. Very good. Now let's roll for the zombies. So the zombie miners have 18 minus 1, 17. Relatively good for zombie. And the zombie kobolds have 0. So Valdis attempts to swiftly cross first. I guess he will do a double move to get through this room. Rinya, I suppose, will do the same. Guess he'll get there, sort of going along the very edge. And at this point, the zombies rise up. Now, what I wanted to do here is test out the dreaded grapple rules. Yes, because I thought the zombies were the perfect ones to do it. In movies, the zombies are always sort of mobbing people. They're not just going up and hitting them one attack at a time. It's grab, take down, and then eat. So, they're going to attempt to do that. These two. I mean, let's just see who's closest, because I would say that they would go for the closest. Let's roll a dice for it. Low is Rinya. High, so he goes for Valdez. So maybe they'll start with an attack, but zombies. They may take only partial actions in any given round. So they're only able to move. At the sight of this, I guess Akihito, he's not going to be able to charge. I guess he can get over to here and try and attack this zombie. So, unarmed strike is +1 damage. +1 to hit, sorry. So he rolled a 15, so he gets 16. Armor class of the zombie. Let's just do their hit points quickly. So this one has got 11. This one has got 12. This one has got 20. And this one has got 14. It's interesting. Over the years, I have generally not bothered rolling, and all creatures just have average amount of hit points. So it's interesting. Anyway, 1d6 +1 damage. He rolled a 3, so it's going to be 4 damage. Now, coming into contact with the zombie causes contagion, so I would say that that counts as coming into contact. And now, do zombies have a damage reduction as they do in later editions? Let's see. No. I think it's only skeletons that have the weapon damage type. So, 4 damage against the zombie. Not particularly impressive, but here comes Yerrick to do some turn undead. So let's just try and find turn undead in the player's handbook, so I can remind myself exactly how it works. So you can do it several times per day. You turn the closest turnable undead first, and you can't turn undead that are more than 60 feet away or who have total cover relative to you, which is none of them. They're all within 60 feet. Yep. So the first thing you do is roll a turning check to see how powerful an undead you can turn is. This is a charisma check, 1d20 plus your charisma modifier. So, Yerrick's charisma modifier is 1. He rolled a 3, so he got a 4. So, nothing is going to happen. Yeah, we're looking at least a 10 to do anything. So, that was a useless term. Gotharum I mean, he kind of wants to steer clear of the pile of bodies, I think. I think what he's going to do is try and get up towards this this zombie up here. Fenton. Well, Fenton is basically useless. That he's going to sort of run up behind here and help out if he can. He's a complete non-combatant, I would say. I meant to get him a light crossbow or something instead of his throwing daggers, which the range of them is much too low for it to be of any use whatsoever. And at this point, the other zombie kobolds stand up. Yerrick and Akihito are going to get an attack of opportunity against this one, because by standing up he provokes, I believe. Let's just do their hit points quickly. So we've got 10. Here we have 5. Here we have 7. And here we have 11. So just think about standing up. Stand up from prone, attack of opportunity, no. Really? Let's just double check that. Move action. Stand up from prone. No. That's interesting. Well, if it says that, it says that. So in that case, this kobold can stand up. This one can come here. This one is going to go towards the closest. He's going to try and go towards the closest, which I think might be Akihito. We've got 15, 15, 20. Let's roll a d6 to see which one he goes for. We'll do low is Akihito. So he goes towards Yerrick. And this one, I guess, is going to go towards Rinya. So all moved except 3 of them. So this one's able to attack at Rinya, who has mage armor cast. Right, so he rolled a 17. He gets +2 to attack. So 19. Rinya, it's going to hit. And that's going to deal 1d6 + 1 slam damage. 4. So it's 5 damage. So that's knocked him down. That is very bad for him. This one is going to attack Valdis. He gets a 12 + 2 is 14. Valdis has 16 armor class, so he's fine. And this one is going to attack Akihito. He rolls a 20. Let's see if it's critical. 15 + 2, 17. Armor class is only 13, so yes, so 2d6 plus 1 damage. That's 6 points of damage. Right, Valdis is going to try and stab at the creature. He gets plus 3 with his dagger. He completely misses. And then he's going to take a step backwards away. Oh, he was in the complete dark as well, so that's quite terrifying. Rinya, see if he stabilizes. Nope. So he's on -2. And the zombies. Oh, I did it out of order, didn't I? I should have done only the kobold. So Rinya was still alive at that point. He'll do, I guess, an attack. He rolls a 17. That means 19 in total, and then he deals 1d8 plus 2 damage. 6, 7, 8 damage. And then he would step this way into darkness. So at that point, then he would step forward, do the attack, and that's when he'd drop down. But he's only on -1, because I didn't need to do that save for stabilization. Akihito is going to see Rinya's gone down. I guess he's going to do an attack against the one in front and then see if he's going to be able to engage the other one. So he's rolled an 11. He gets +1 to his attack for 12. And the armor class of the zombie is 11. So it does hit. And it's 1d6 plus 1 damage. He rolls a 1. Shame. He could have killed him. So that's 2 in total. Then, I suppose, well, he'll make his way here with a 5-foot step. Yarrick, he'll try and turn undead again. Now, does that provoke an attack of opportunity? Turn undead. No. Fine. So, let's try and roll better this time. That's a 13 plus 1, 14. Right. So, let's have a quick look then. So, 14. Most powerful undead affected is cleric's level +1. So that's 2 hit dice. So it does affect the zombies. The normal zombies have 2d12 and the zombie kobolds have 1d12. If your roll is high enough to let you turn at least some of the undead within 60 feet, roll 2d6, 5, plus your cleric level, 6, plus your charisma modifier, 7 for turning damage. That's how many total hit dice of undead you can turn. Right. So 7 hit dice worth. And I think it said You turn the closest turnable undead first, and you can't turn undead that are more than 60 feet away. So, how is this going to go? Closest is this one. So he is turned. That's 1. Then next closest, this guy's 10 feet away, this guy's 10 feet away. So they're all, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they'll all be turned. That's right, isn't it? 2 hit dice plus 2 hit dice is 4, 5, 6, and then it's going to be the closest kobold, which is going to be that one. Right. Gotharum. He's going to see Rinya's down and about to be eaten by the undead, so he's going to risk the attacks of opportunity to charge at that one. So we'll do green dice for the normal zombie. So he's rolled a 14 plus 2 is 16. Gotharum, armor class 15. It's going to hit for 5 points of damage, but the other one misses. So Gotharum takes 5. Now, I wonder about intercepting a charge and attacks of opportunity and that sort of thing. Would that count as intercepting the charge? I'm just looking at charge itself. Where is that on the list? Well, I'm not going to spend too much longer. We'll just say that it's fine. So he's gotten there. He can do his axe attack against this zombie. So he'll get a +2 bonus. He gets +6 on the attack. Rolled a 19. So that's going to hit for 1d8 plus 3 damage. 7. So 10 damage to this zombie here. Fenton, I suppose, will take a quick step forward and we'll try and stab at that one there. He rolled a 19. Cannot critical because it's undead. So he just does 1d6 plus 1d6 damage, and he manages to get 6. So that's actually a short sword rather than a dagger. So that's actually going to kill this zombie. Congratulations. That's probably the first creature that Fenton has killed. Right, and then the kobolds. Right, they should flee directly away from the source of the attack. So it's going to be here. What is their speed? That's going to be 20 foot, I'm sure. They've got 30 foot speed. So he goes directly away there. He'll go directly away there. And Yerrick will get an attack of opportunity against him. But if you attack, then it breaks the turning. So he's not going to bother, because they're going to try and flee out of this room as quickly as possible. This one is still alive. And I guess he's going to go after Gotharum. Valdis is going to flee. He can go at half his speed. In the darkness. So he flees off down that corridor. Rinya tries to save. Nope, he's at -2. This is the third turn, so everyone needs to start saving against the disease. So Rinya, he's failed his contagious. The zombies. This one now will try and attack Gotharum. He rolled a 2, so he misses. This one, I guess, is going to move up here. And he's going to attempt the grapple. So Gotharum gets an attack of opportunity against him to start with. He hits for 4 plus 3 damage, 7 damage. So that's the first step. Then the zombie gets a melee touch attack. He rolled a 10. He gets +2, so that's 12 against Gotham's touch, which is going to be 12. So the touch attack hits. Then they make opposed grapple checks. So it's base attack bonus. Does it say that here? Base attack plus strength plus size. I think it's just going to be +2. So the zombie gets 9. Gotharum, his base attack bonus is going to be 1. Plus his strength is 3, so he gets 4. And he gets a 24 in total. Very good. So the grapple fails. That's all there is to it at the moment. Akihito, I guess, is gonna step forward. Oh, this kobold zombie should have fled as well. Valdis will be very concerned about that. Hearing one of the creatures shuffling up behind him. Yep, Akihito's going to try and attack this zombie here. He rolls. Yep, he hits. So it's 1d6 damage plus 1. It's only a 2, but it's enough. But he needs to make his fortitude save against the disease. He gets a 9 plus fortitude 2. So he is infected as well. Yerrick. Guess he'll step forward and he'll try and turn undead again. He rolls a 9 plus... what was it? 9 plus charisma or 9 plus charisma and level? I think it's just plus charisma. Having a better memory would certainly help with this game. Yeah, plus charisma. So he gets 10 in total. So he can only affect the one hit dice once. So it's only going to affect this one here. So that guy is turned as well. And then he'll make the save against the disease. He fails as well. Gotharum, I guess he's going to turn around and attack this one. Is the biggest threat. He rolls a 10 plus 4 is 14. That hits. Although he would attack with both. So he's only got a 12. But that's fine because the arm class is 11. And the second attack, it doesn't hit. So just the axe deals 1d8 plus 3 damage. That's 8 points of damage. That kills that zombie. Fenton, he's gonna start trying to get away. I'm gonna say sort of like half movement to go through here. So it's 10 foot there. Then, so if he's moving at double speed, he's got 40 feet. So 10, 20. From Yerrick. He should have run away on his turn, so I'll just move him now. He'll try and run away, so there's going to be attacks of opportunity against him. So one from Gotharum. He misses, and one from Fenton, who hits. Fenton deals 1d6 damage. It's 2. In fact, well, I don't want to do that because that alerts them. And this one goes 30 feet away as well. And Valdis just sort of hugs against the wall, hoping that nothing happens to him. Valdis will stay there momentarily, maybe take a step back this way. He needs to save. No, he doesn't need to save because he's not in the room. Was that everybody who made this save? I don't know if I did for Fenton and Gotharum actually. So Gotharum, he's fine. Fenton, he is not. Now Rinya needs to try and save again. He doesn't, so he's on -3. this zombie is going to continue to flee away. I need to check how many rounds this actually lasts for, because I don't want to extend it too much. 10 rounds. Fine. I think that was 3 rounds so far. Right. Akihito. He'll try at least to get out of the room, I think. Yerrick is going to come here and cast Cure Light Wounds on Rinya for 7. Just brings him up to 4. That's good. And Gotharum is going to sort of get it out as well. He's going to be prepared when that guy moves to do an attack of opportunity. There's light enough for Fenton now to sort of move up to here. And these creatures continue to flee. This is going to alert the orc in that next room. Right, Gotharum will take his attack of opportunity. He misses, I believe. Yep. Valdis, I think he's going to take out his bow, but he won't be able to actually see anything at the moment, so maybe he'll keep his sword. He needs to wait until some light appears. Okay, Rinya is going to stand up and sort of move over to here. This one moves another 30 feet. Okay, Akihito and Yerrick. Right, they're out of the room now. Maybe Rinya will cast light on himself, because we're having a little bit of trouble with light at the moment. So I think it's just 30 feet of bright light. They will wait in this corridor momentarily, I think, before they press on, saying things like, what the hell was that? Damn zombies. And I guess they'll sort of like ready their actions. Rinya and Valdis will prepare their bows, so that when the zombies come back, they'll be able to shoot them. As soon as the zombies step into the light, Valdis, he has +3. Okay, it's a hit for 5 damage. And Rinya misses. Gotharum, I think, is simply going to charge at this one. He rolls a 19. That's a hit, but not a chance of a critical. And deals 7 damage, killing this one. Phantom will do nothing for now. This one is going to try and attack Gotharum. Oh, possible critical. Yes, he does get a critical. So it's going to be 2d4 damage. That's 5. It's going down to 0. Valdis will be able to take another shot. He's technically shooting into combat, so he gets a -4 penalty. Yep, so that's a miss. Renier will do the same. He hits for d8 because he's got a longbow. 4 damage. Right, and I need to note down ammunition because I've been forgetting to do that. So it was 2 from Valdis, 2 from Rinya. The other zombies I'm not going to worry about. They're sort of like forget that where they were and everything. Akihito will charge forward here, I think. He hits for 1d6 plus 1 damage. 7. So that's killed him. Right, the next thing then, I think, so Yerrick used, I guess, magic weapon to cure Rinya. He will use Bless on Gotharum as a cure spell for 8. And the party will emerge into the next room, all spaced a little closer together this time. And I can guess actually he'll go back there. He'll go there. So they can't see much except for Gotharum, who with his dark vision can see quite a lot. Let me just add the lighting for this thing. Because that makes a difference about what Gotharum can see. The single jagged pillar of rock lined with glowing blue-green moss emerges from the depths of the pool within the centre of this cavern. Water courses down its side from the front near its tip, cascading into the pool below. The pool feeds a wide stream that flows rapidly along the length of the room and then under the rock wall at the southern end of the cave. Several glyphs are carved deep into the stone face of the pillar, their outlines just visible beneath the light of the moss. An eerie sense of discomfort pervades the place. So it implies that there is actually light in this room. Um, so there is a sort of like looping path around this this pillar of rock that allows you to climb to the top. And that's where the orc has made his encampment at the top. He hides on the opposite face of the pillar when the PCs enter the chamber. The glyphs carved here are written in orc script and serve as an entreaty to Grumsh to smite down yaks or jacks, enemies with terrible pestilence. It also retells the history of the mines and the fate of the Torn Claw clan. Anyone who makes a successful knowledge religion check will recognise the symbols that make this a place of worship for Grumsh. So we'll do that now. Presumably the only one with knowledge religion is going to be Yerrick. Let's have a look, shall we? Skills, knowledge religion. He gets +6 bonus. He rolls a 17. So yep, he's aware of something orcish and Grumshian going on here. The water of the pool and streaming from the pillar, when examined, will appear to be particularly murky and foul. A detect magic spell reveals that. Indeed, traces of some faint magic affect the water. Although Jack appears frustrated that the adventurers have found his lair, he views their arrival as a challenge set for him by Grumsh, and methodically proceeds to do his best to eliminate them. He quaffs his potion of Bane shortly before they arrive in the cavern, which he does if he hears them coming, which he will have done. When prepared for combat, Jack shouts a curse of hatred at the adventurers and begins casting his ranged spells from the cover of the pillar. He then uses his darkness spell to obscure the battlefield and close for melee, letting his blind feet guide him in combat. He also uses his contagion spell liberally, hoping to slay any adventurers already weakened by the plague. Jack truly believes this conflict is a test of resolve sent by his deity, so he will not parley or surrender, fighting to the death under most circumstances. So, we'll roll initiative. It sounds like he's not going to be stealthy or anything. He's just going to spring from behind there and attack them with his first spell. So, Akihito is 12. Phantom gets a 1, so he's on 2 again. Gotharum, 6 plus 2 is 8. That's the same again. Yerrick, 9 plus 0. Rinya, 13 plus 4. And Valdis, 6 plus 7. And let's add our chap here. He has an initiative of 1. He gets a 9. And he has 22 hit points. So, what is his range spell that he wants to cast? Contagion, he has Hold Person, he has Darkness, Cause Fear, Doom. Maybe he'll start with Cause Fear. So he's already quaffed a potion of Bane. Seems a little bit strange, a potion of Bane. Let's just check what Bane does. Fills your enemies with fear and doubt. They suffer -1 morale penalty to their attack rolls and -1 morale penalty on saving throws against fear effects. So I'm still going to find it in the magic items section because it doesn't seem like it should work. Potion of Bane. I wonder if it's supposed to mean Potion of Bless. Well, I think I'm going to pause there now anyway, and we'll deal with this fight later because we've been going for an hour here, which I think is plenty of time for me. And I'll just check the stream is looking okay before I cut it off. Yep, okay, I'll pick this up at another point.